We're back. We're live. I'm Summer.
Yeah, I finally made one
I feel you made it back.
in October.
You missed last week. It was fun.
I know. That's what I heard. I was listening from work.
It sucks because I can't upload it to Spotify. I don't know. Spotify keeps deleting it for me. I'm like, whatever. I don't know. But we had special guests in the chat room I didn't even know about, so that was awesome. Oh, there's the evil river with gummy teeth, I guess. Goodbye, river. Go back to sleep, river. But yeah, we're back. We're live. We have some big things coming up in November. I'm super excited about. Can't announce it yet until I have the solidified information, but things are coming. Oh my god, you're scary. You're almost as scary as Uncle Buzz. Okay, go bed.
Facts.
Facts, yes. Facts, yes, definitely. But tonight we have Brooke, who is the co-owner of Wildwood Sanitarium, which I'm super, super excited to talk about because I will be there in July. Hopefully, Wes will be coming with us, but we'll see. I won this investigation at Gettysburg in July, this past July. So I'm super excited to get her on to talk about the history, the paranormal claims, and anything and everything about this historic location out in New York. So let's bring her on. There we go. We have Brooke in the house now.
Hi, guys.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
So excited to have you on to talk about Wildwood. I've yet to be there. I don't think Russ has been there yet.
No.
So this is all new for us.
That's awesome. I'm excited to talk to you guys about it.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's jump right into it. What's a little history on the place? Like how, what is the kind of the story behind it?
So Wildwood has a pretty cool history behind it, actually. So the building was built in 1900, but we think it's earlier, and we keep getting these little tidbits, and we're so close to finding out if it was before 1900. So like when we were repairing the roof and everything, we found square nails in the roof, and we have some gas lighting that actually still works. So that's why we kind of think it's a little bit older. But so in 1906, it was open as an osteopathic hospital. Do you guys know what that means?
Isn't that like holistic health? Like
yes. Yep. So
it was to go to medicine. They wanted to do like the holistic aspect.
Yes. So it was completely natural healing. They didn't believe in, medication, any of that kind of stuff. What they did is they had a bathhouse in the basement, which is pretty crazy, thinking about treatments and everything today, just taking a bath was your treatment. But they did different kinds of baths, and the craziest one that people always think is insane is the electric battery baths, which actually is where they electrocute you in the bathtub. And we have some examples of like what the pictures and everything that looks like at the house, and you can actually still see the markings from the tubs on the floor in the basement.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then later it was forced to become a tuberculosis hospital by the town. So at that time, it was really the only tuberculosis hospital of its kind where it focused more on natural healing instead of giving them medication and all that other stuff. So that's a little basic history.
Right. You all right over there, Jenny?
Yep. Stupid cough from COVID, that nagging cough that will not go away. Awesome time.
Oh, yeah.
Love that for you.
I know. I feel like I should be at the sanitarium because I feel like it's like TB all over again at this point.
Yeah.
Now, what is it? Is it considered a sanitarium or a sanatorium?
So, they're different. So it was both at one point. So when they first opened, they did not take contagious diseases. They treated patients that had more like mental illness, drug, alcohol addiction, that sort of thing. And then later they took the diseases, so tuberculosis and all that. So that's the difference between a sanatorium and a sanitarium. So it really could be either or.
Jenny, you need to go now.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I need to go now. Let's go now. Don't think Brooke would want me there right now with being just get over COVID, but maybe the spirits will understand and be more active.
Yeah. I mean, during COVID, it was really crazy. We always used to ask them like what they thought about what was going on and everything, and just different questions about it. And they always seemed pretty intrigued by it. I mean, they probably went through serious pandemics besides tuberculosis too. So it just would be cool to ask them on the spirit box what they thought about it and everything.
Yeah, I bet it would be interesting to see what they would say.
Yeah, because ghosts, they keep up on current events and everything too. So I mean,
yeah.
So what kind of struck this building your fancy, so to say, to become the co-owner of it?
So my mom actually bought the location in 2017. And so kind of how it happened is we were investigating for a few years at the time, and we were helping run a group up in Buffalo, which is like the closest major city to us, I guess. And we were doing tours and everything up there, and some people kind of knew what we did with ghost hunting and everything. So the one day she was at the gas station in Salmaker, because Salmaker is, I mean, probably 5 minutes, 10 minutes from our house. And the lady at the gas station said, "Do you know that creepy old hospital is for sale?" to my mom. Mm-hmm. And she didn't know what the heck they were talking about. So then they gave her the address, and she went and looked at it, and instantly she became just obsessed with it. I mean, this woman probably toured this house 4 times. Oh, wow. And anytime we went to town or anything, she had to drive past it, take pictures, look at it. And then, she's going back and forth about it because that's a big undertaking, obviously.
Yeah.
She didn't have much support from the family and everything, but I told her, of course, let's do it, because we were super into the ghost hunting stuff. And so then, I mean, at that point, the guy that was selling it told her, "Look, Lori, if you're not going to buy it, I'm going to list it with a realtor, and the price is going to double." So that was her final push into purchasing it. So we closed July 4th of 2017.
Oh, wow. Nice. Yep. So what was on the land before the building was built?
So we don't really know, but the house is on Native American land. So it easily could have been something to do with that. If you look at the property now, it's the whole entire corner is what they used to own because they wanted to expand the building, but they never had a chance. So that's why it's called the Wildwood Sanitarium, because it used to be along the main road, which is Wildwood, and then now it's along Prospect Avenue.
Okay. So you might be even dealing with some Native American spirits, elementals.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Within that activity.
Yes.
What was I gonna say? What is the layout of the building itself? How many rooms are within it? From just the pictures, it looks like maybe 3 or 4 floors.
So, in total, including the basement and the attic, it's 5 floors. Which you can go in all of them. There's a full basement, full attic, and then 3 floors. And the building actually currently is kind of set up like 3 apartments, because that's what the building was from the 70s to the 90s, end of 90s. So there's 3 kitchens, 3 bathrooms, and all that. And then when people come and stay, we have a kitchen on the first floor that everyone can use, and bathroom and beds to sleep in. And all the different rooms are kind of themed for different things. We have a seance room where we have a round table that you can sit at. And then we have we call it the moat room, because when we bought the location, it was really crazy. the previous people put a tarp on the ceiling in the room, and that's where the worst hole was in the roof. So the water to drip into the, like a kiddie pool almost, and we had to use to take buckets and throw the water out the window. So just little nicknames over the years that the rooms have gotten. So
yeah, it definitely looks interesting. Like I would not expect that many floors in that building or rooms, but
yeah,
it's big. It must be like bigger inside. It's pictures to see, I guess.
It's definitely one of those buildings, even when pulling up, you don't think it's as big as it is when you get inside. And it's definitely like a maze. Like it's one of those old houses that kind of go in a circle and kind of flow into each other. So.
Yeah. Somebody asked in the chat room, can you actually use the seance room?
You can. So we've actually had different events, and sometimes on our public ghost hunts, people will ask us if, we can perform a seance for them, and we've done it over the years.
Well, Betsy, I guess that's our answer for July.
Yeah.
Betsy's going to be with us in July, so we'll see.
Yeah, and a lot of people will use spirit boards, like Ouija boards and all that there too. And we've done all different stuff in that room, like table tipping and all kinds of cool stuff over the years.
Oh, Betsy, we need to do table tipping. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Just put another notch into my belt here with table
tipping. That would be cool.
I'm super excited because, like I said in the beginning, I run an investigation there in July at Gettysburg, and Shane was doing the silent action at that time, and it was just up to maybe I think it was $200 at the point, and he goes, "I'll throw me and Josh to come in and investigate," and that went up to $900.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was so crazy.
I was like, I'm gonna do it because I want to investigate with Shane and Josh again, and and that was just so much fun. And the face on Shane when it finally got to 900, he goes, "I can't believe you just did that." I'm like, "Well, you and Josh, I'm good."
It's so crazy too because we were going back and forth. We're like, "Oh, is it too late to put something in the auction?" And I was talking back and forth with my mom, and we only put that up at the very last minute. I think it was 15 minutes before we told them hey, we'll put in something if it's not too late and everything. So I thought that was absolutely insane, but so cool. I can't wait for all of you guys to come check it out and see the location, and it'll be a really fun night.
Yeah, I it's one of the things I'm coming down to. I'm going down before Gettysburg next year, doing the Hinsdale House on that Monday, and then Wildwood that Tuesday. And like I said in the chat, when we were chatting before the show, I'm trying to figure out how to do Midway Hotel before heading down to Gettysburg too, because that place seems like there's crazy amount of activity happening too. Oh
yeah.
Let's see who's here. Nick Simons is here. It's Shane. Yeah. So over the years that you guys have owned it, have you seen an uptake in the paranormal activity since now you're you guys are focusing on it and restoring it back to what it should be?
So people ask us a lot if we think the restoration and stuff stirs up things. And I would say no. So we actually are super cautious of everything that we do. And I guess we're kind of the weirdos or whatever, but we kind of ask them for permission because, the way that we see it is it's still their place and we're just there to kind of take care of it for them and everything else. Yeah. So, we make sure that everything is good and everything, but I would say activity has definitely increased since last Halloween. And I don't know what's connected with it or anything, but after we did a public investigation, I want to say it was 2 days before Halloween last year, and the whole vibe was completely different. And ever since then, we've had this thing in the attic because we don't really know what it is, so we just keep calling it the thing in the attic. And a lot of different groups over the years now has a couple different theories what it is. A lot of people think it's something elemental or like that. So I'm interested to see, because we have a tour this year on Halloween, how that goes. Because normally at Wildwood, the spirits are super, healing, I would say.
Hmm.
And it's not anything that'll hurt you. I mean, I always say it's a really good place to go for like your first investigation, because it's not something that's going to hurt you or any of that. It's more of intelligent responses. You can have a conversation with them. And some people have even heard from past loved ones, like on spirit boxes and different equipment. Um, so yeah, I'm interested to see how this Halloween will go out, see if it increases even more or what it affects.
Oh yeah, I'm interested to see how that changes too with this Halloween.
Yeah.
You have to let me know. 'Cause
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like counting down. I'm like, okay, I want to go now. Let's have it be July now.
You need one of those like counters on your phone
Oh,
to
I
count
do.
down.
Oh, I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
I do.
I love it.
Because I'm like, as soon as I won that in July, I was like, okay, I was messaging Shane and Josh like up until Michigan, and I'm like, okay, Shane, you're here with me. Let's figure out a day. Let's message
Yeah.
work and get it reserved. Like,
Yeah.
we're not leaving Michigan without a date here.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, yes. But yeah, I'm super excited. Like, that's been on one of my top places to check out since I saw you guys at, I think, Ohio State Reformatory for the first time.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
up in my brain of things. And then Gettysburg happens. I'm like, okay, now it's just game. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's definitely a really cool place to check out.
Yeah. So what got you and your mom into the paranormal in the first place?
So I actually did that. That was my fault. So I have been seeing spirits since I was around 2 years old, actually. The first time I saw a spirit was my uncle, and there's this whole backstory to it. I was scared camping with my mom, and I told my mom that Uncle Bob flew through the window and told me not to be scared, which is really crazy because my Uncle Bob committed suicide like 10 or 15 years before that. So no one in the family talked about him. It was not, I really didn't know he existed. And then I told her that. And then when we got home, my mom had, I feel like every older person has like a picture of their family and everything in their hallways and their homes and everything. And she told me, "Can you point to a picture of Uncle Bob on the wall?" And I pointed right to him and I said, "That's him right there." So fast forward like into my teens, I started seeing a lot of stuff too. I would say around 12, 13, stuff really started picking up. And I actually went to an academy for psychic mediums because my mom said, like, just to figure out what my abilities were and how to control them and all that kind of stuff. And while we were there, my mom realized she had abilities because she would always sit in the back of the class and listen. And so then she kind of had her awakening and realized she had abilities. Then fast forward to maybe a year, we actually had a family reunion at a location that we didn't know was haunted. And that's the Van Horn Mansion up in Newfane, New York. And while we were there, we realized that they had ghost tours. So then we went on our first ghost tour and then got involved in a team. And then we met Dan, the owner of Hinsdale. And we did stuff with him pretty much every weekend. Did all kinds of events with him. And then it just kind of escalated from there. It's been about 10 years now, so that's pretty cool to see where it kind of started and where it is now.
Yeah, definitely. To see where you started and then where you are now. Yep. I feel that. It's like looking back, because I started in like 2009 officially, like watching the shows and stuff. And I guess I was talking about it in high school because I talked to one of my teachers last week, and like, do you still do that paranormal ghost hunting thing? I'm like, wait, did I really talk about that in high school?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, you were writing papers about it. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I did. Yeah, I still do it.
That's cool.
He's like, where do we go in like this in the state to go investigate? I'm like, really? Minnesota sucks for that, but I gave him a couple ideas. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna go see if they have ghost tours. I'm like, they all do. You just can't like book it for overnight. They have,
Oh,
like,
okay.
ghost tours and stuff, but overnight places in Minnesota, not so much. Unless
Oh,
you
okay.
get to know the owners very well and get
Yeah.
in that way, then you can.
Mhm.
But Minnesota does not have very many haunted locations for sure.
Yeah. See, we're super lucky out here. I mean, we have so many awesome locations, so it's a pretty big thing around Western.
Yeah, you guys are lucky on the East Coast. I know. Midwest sucks. It's like
Yeah.
that's why I love going out to the East Coast, and when we do, we usually spend like a week or two out there because there's like
Yeah.
so much places to go check.
Mhm.
And we're like, where do we go on this trip? Let's focus. Like 2 years ago, I was in Massachusetts with Russ, and we went to USS Salem, the Oliver House, Salem itself,
That's
and
awesome.
other locations. So yeah,
I want to go to USS Salem so bad, and I keep talking about it. Next year, I'm gonna make it happen.
Well, come on up. I only live 25 minutes away from it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I like keep seeing so much stuff about it. And we used to have naval ships up here that you could investigate and everything, but I think someone new was on like the historical board or something. So now they don't do the ghost tours. So we used to get the coolest evidence on the ships and everything. It was so cool. So I want to go to the USS Salem so bad.
we just did just like a day like self tour, and I was getting stuff on just walking around during the day. I'm like, I want to investigate this place.
Yeah.
Don was kind enough. I gave him a call, and he told us just to swing by, and
That's
kind of
awesome.
gave us free roam of the ship.
That's awesome. That's so
We'll
cool.
just have to go next year all together and do it. Like,
yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so down.
And I have to explore Salem more because we went in.
Jenny, got to bring you to the 2 new locations I'm running up here now.
I know. Yeah. I gotta get out there for that. Yeah. I saw Rob and Get Haunted was just out there.
I know. I was at work. I'm sad I missed them.
It's like I just want to move on to the East Coast. There's so much out in the East Coast, but then my Midwest friends will get mad at me for moving. So
yeah, I get it.
Well, that means you don't bring your husband back out here to the East Coast.
I know. My husband's from the East Coast, from Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
But he really doesn't have much family out there except for his couple of sisters. So I'm like, where do we go that's like in the middle? Like Ohio.
Well, don't go to Connecticut.
Well, that's not in the middle of Midwest and East Coast.
Ohio's a good place to settle down. And like I said, I'm originally from Northeast Ohio. So I've done multiple things in that area. I've been to Rolling Hills. I've yet to hit Hinsdale yet. I've yet to hit Wildwood yet. But, Hillview Manor, Ohio State Reformatory, Madison Seminary. I've hit all of those places.
Yeah, that's awesome. Ohio, I feel like definitely is like a hub for paranormal too.
It is.
They have so many locations, and there's so many good people out there too. Like like Adam Kimmel's events and everything. We always make sure we hit those, like no matter what, because they're all just so awesome. And
I'm waiting for him to announce the 2024 event dates because I want to put them in our calendar. Because we did Madison and Fairfield in May.
Yeah.
We did overnight at Fairfield. That place was crazy active. Besides the bats. The bats there are no joke. They will swoop at your head and try to attack you. Madison, we did a day tour because it was just a last minute. Like, we were up by the falls. We're like, Madison's not that far. Let's go see if we can get in for a day tour. messaged Adam, messaged Addie, and I was like, okay, we're in the area. We're not from here. Can we get in just for a quick day tour? And they were willing to do it. So I was like, yay, thank you. Madison, I can definitely see why Russ used that as his training grounds because that place is crazy.
It is. It's really awesome. And MadCon, that's one of my favorite events all year. It's just such a cool event just to hang out with everyone, and you see everyone once a year and, getting together, and it's so much fun.
Well, that's what Gettysburg is. It's everybody getting together for a great cause and seeing people you don't see for a year. I mean, I used to see a lot of these people more when I lived in Ohio because I was closer. But now that I live in Massachusetts, it's like I only get to see them like once a year. So I think
exactly.
something like that makes it more special.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I 100% agree with that.
I'm excited because Get Haunted's doing a couple of events out at Indiana State Sanitarium. So I've been talking to Rob and Sarah about hopping over there and helping them during those investigations because I love Indiana State. That place is huge.
In 2 weeks, we'll be having the Get Haunted crew up here at the East Coast Para Expo that they're co-sponsoring with Warner Paranormal.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So run at the Hart Stuff Hall over here in Rockland, Massachusetts. Great location, great activity.
Mm-hmm. We need to make it out there at some point too. I always feel so bad because when you own your own location, you're so married to it. Yeah. It's so hard, but I finally have like a really good set of team and that I really trust and that can open for us and everything. So I'm really excited for next year because I feel like we'll be able to do more events and everything. We have a really solid team now. So
yeah, it sounds like it. And you guys have a TikTok now. I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So will you be streaming like investigations and different videos of evidence and stuff on there too?
Yeah, so currently now we do live feed videos. So we set up a camera in a room and we leave it all night long. We lock up the house and leave, and we leave a few pieces of equipment out. And we leave it going all night long. And then sometimes we will go live at our public events and on TikTok.
Oh, wow. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
I can see what I can pick up from all the way from Minnesota. We'll see.
Definitely. Yeah. It's always a great time. It's always really fun.
So the 2 pictures on the screen, tell us if there's any activity in those 2 areas and where they are in the building.
So on the photo to the left, which is our doctor's office, that's actually known to be one of the hot spots of the house. It's probably where most of a lot of people get activity there. It's said to be one of the darker rooms of the building, that kind of thing. And so the door to the attic, where this person's taking the photo, the door to the attic is right behind them. And up in the attic is where I was saying earlier, the thing is up there. And then you'll hear full conversations going on up there. You'll hear footsteps walking around, really heavy footsteps. And then in the actual room, there is a spirit that we call Charlie. At least that's what he says his name is. And we always explain him as your crazy, grumpy, drunk uncle, because he says that he came there for treatment for alcohol addiction.
Oh, wow.
And he'll be grumpy, but not mean, just go away kind of thing. Or sometimes he will swear at women. He does do that sometimes. And it was really funny. The one day, actually at the paranormal convention, that investigation, telling him
oh, I think we're losing. I think we lost Brooke.
Yeah, I think she just dropped a little bit there.
I think so. I think we
know.
Yep, I think she.
All right. I keep hearing her come through a little bit. Oh, there she is. She moved.
She moved a little and then she froze again.
Can you hear me now?
No.
No.
We're going in and out here.
Yeah, we're going in and out. Oh.
All right, there we go. All right, she's gonna log off and log back on again. So,
yep. So
but like I just said, yeah, like I just said in the chat room, everybody, you know, I'm sorry if I seem distracted. Train coming through.
Yep, your train. That train that always comes through about this time on the show.
But I do apologize. You know, it's getting into the last 2 weeks of the season, and I finally got a day off. My first actual day off since August 31st.
Jesus.
So I'm kind of having to deal with a dumpster fire right now at work. So I just want everybody to understand, you know, I'm fully committed to the show, and I am here. I am listening. I'm just multitasking when I can.
Multitasking, yeah.
The best I can, at least. I got to be back there at 8:30 tomorrow morning anyway.
Oh,
so
Jesus Christ! Tell us about the event coming up at Haas Hall.
Harsef Hall.
Yeah.
So it's called the East Coast Para Expo. We didn't want to call it a con because it's really not a con. It's going to be quite a few different people, and we're actually taking a spin on it a little bit because we're going to have multiple speakers from multiple different areas. So we have a speaker that is Granite Sky Services. This is UFOlogy. We have somebody speaking on the Bridgewater Triangle. We have Bigfoot hunters coming. We have somebody that is from Salem for the Mason vampire. So we're talking about all different kinds of the paranormal, not just the paranormal. So it's definitely a great event. Goes to a great cause. The money goes back to the Harsef Hall to preserve it and everything like that. And Warner Paranormal Preservation Society runs it, as well as Get Han has teamed up with us this year. So it'll be a good time. And thankfully enough, actually, we shut down for the season on the 2nd. I don't have to go back until the 7th. So I'll actually have that time off.
Well, I was going to say, are you going to actually have the time off to go?
I actually am going to have the time off.
Okay. So Brooke is back. Hopefully her Wi-Fi is working now. Are you here, Brooke? Can you hear us?
Hi. Yeah, my Wi-Fi just completely dropped, so I connected to my hotspot on my phone.
No worries. We're like, she's gone.
Yeah, it's okay.
She's died. Somebody asked, so the other room is set up as a kitchen/bathroom when it was apartments. We call it the Ouija board room now.
Oh, Ouija board.
Ouija board.
Ouija board.
Yeah, so that's actually shout out to Jen. She's actually kind of like my right-hand man now, besides my husband, obviously. So she's been opening up for us for tours and opening up the house if I'm not home or Zach's not home. So she's really awesome.
That's awesome. And let's see. You guys have a lot of dolls, it looks like, from the photos I've seen.
Yeah. So we have a whole doll room.
I will not be in that room.
Nope. Can I have one? I love dolls.
We love to exchange.
Okay.
But we have so many. It's insane. They're like we have shelves all over the walls and everything that are full. My mom is so funny. Like every week she'll bring home a new one and say, "Look what cool one I found today." So there's a lot.
What I don't get why there's so many locations now that have creepy dolls. It's just like, why dolls? Can't we just get like board games? Like,
I feel like dolls are just like creepy in nature. Like, what kid doesn't grow up and their mom, or grandma gives them a porcelain doll and they're creepy. Mm-hmm. But ours like has a story behind it. So actually in the doll room, when we first bought the location, there was this woman that would always come off on the spirit boxes and different things. And she said her name was Linda. Well, Linda, while we were filming for Paranormal Lockdown, left an EVP that said, bring back the toys. So when Paranormal Lockdown came, we took a few things out. And so that was the dolls and some of the toys and everything. So we think that she wanted them back. And the dolls are very well known to move. A bunch of them have moved, been thrown at people, all kinds of things over the years.
If a doll comes flying out at me, I'll be sleeping in the car.
Yeah, and this is what the doll room used to look like back in 2017, but there is so many more now.
Yeah, but I used to have dolls like that when I was younger. My grandma used to buy them for me every birthday, every Christmas, any holiday. I would have, I think I had like 25, 30 at one time. And they just got to the point that they were creeping me out. Like I felt like they were following me in my room. So I threw them all in the trash.
I'm going to buy you one of those life-size Good Guy dolls and bring it to Gettysburg and give
No,
it to
you're
you.
not. No, you're not.
That would be
See,
funny.
now, Brooke, now you're going to be like, you're going to get like a Pennywise doll from him, and he's going to trade for one from there.
Hey, I could always say this.
That'd be cool.
I got an idea.
Oh, yeah, that'd be sweet. We have one right now that's actually from Spirit of Halloween, like years ago, and people have gotten videos of her like face changing, and she has no eyes. She has no eye, like, it's just an empty thing, and then the inside of her head is painted black, and it's just two empty holes or whatever. And people have caught on video like her eyes moving, and she doesn't even have eyes. And then her face changing, like her facial features and her expression. So it's really creepy. And she's just creepy in general. She sings like Ring Around the Rosie and everything, and she's motion activated.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. And trust me, they're the store I work at for the last 2 years, the employees, I have some of the same employees I had last year as I do this year. And last year when they found out I was in the paranormal, they're like, oh, we should do an investigation here.
Oh, that'd be cool.
The building we're in is an old CVS.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that there's not stuff going on, because there have been times that the entire power has been out.
Oh, wow.
Like we've shut off all the breakers to leave for the end of the night, and our animatronics will go off by themselves. They have no power going on.
Oh, wow.
That's scary.
I had a girl that one of my assistants last year that refused to work by herself at night because the dolls like you have that are motion activated.
Yeah.
When she was getting ready to close, she walked to the back room to shut off the breakers. And as she was walking back, all the dolls were going off.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
She's like, nope, I'm done.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I don't do dolls. So this will be fun next July when I go.
Well, it has a door. You can just shut the door and you can lock everyone else in there and they can do it.
Lock everyone else in the door.
Yeah.
No, Jenny, you need to do a half an hour lockdown in the room by yourself.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do on that investigation. And I think everyone's going to split up for like a half an hour. We're going to do like a Project Fear type of thing, pull from the hat, and watch. I'll be the one that picks the doll room.
That would be funny.
Well, see, the problem with that is you're putting it into the universe now, so it's gonna happen now.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Hey, it was bad enough. Like, we did Great Lakes Paranormal Con 4 weeks ago, and not even in Wisconsin at an old school, and one of the rooms upstairs is a doll room. Literally, all the walls has dolls on them, and you walk in there, you just feel the heaviness, and you feel like the eyes are following you. I'm like, this is where a vendor booth is for the whole weekend.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
I've
always wanted to visit an old school. That's so cool.
I'm like, nope, not staying in here for very long at a time because the energy's crazy. I don't do dolls, and it's like, when you get into a room full of dolls and the energy just feels so different, you're like, especially if you're a psychic medium empath, you're like, oh,
Yeah. And you have all those eyes on you.
Yeah, you have all the eyes, and you have like, it's like, it was small anyways, and they had us and another vendor in there, so it was small. And then you got people coming in to shop, plus the dolls that like to just fall over on them by themselves. Every time we turn around, a doll was like falling. I'm like, nope, this is done. This is dope. But yeah, every school I've gone to investigate, there's always dolls. And then like Adam's places always have dolls because Addie loves dolls, creepy dolls.
Yeah, she does.
Well, the thing about it is, though, is Madison was actually home for kids as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I feel like a lot of locations have them for the children, the spirits and stuff. That's a big thing with us too, is we do have a lot of children's spirits, especially a little girl that people see all the time. So, I mean, stuff for her. And Tommy, we have a little boy as well, and people leave him all kinds of gifts. Like right now, one of our investigators actually left him like little Mario figures and cars, and I mean they leave stuff for them. So
make a note in my head to bring like a little car and not a doll, but something else for the spirits.
Yeah,
got it.
There you go.
Got it. So I know Paranormal Lockdown was there. They were one of the first ones in there, correct?
Yeah, so we closed the house in July and bought the house in July, and they came right in that September. So, I mean, we barely even investigated at that point, so.
Because I remember from that episode, isn't that when the mirror came crashing down when you guys were all outside?
Yes, and we actually still have that mirror too, and it's on display and everything in the room. And the mirror that Nick hung on the wall is still hung up there, 6 years later, it's still hung up. So
interesting, because I remember watching that episode and I'm like, how did that mirror fall? Like, it was like, looked like it was perfectly on the wall.
No, it definitely was, and it's on like this huge, really thick screw through the cement wall. So for it to move like that was really crazy. And in the episode, the one that Nick hung back up moved too when he put the sensor on.
Yeah.
So yeah, we still have those. We still have tons of mirrors in the house. People have gotten a couple pictures of things in mirrors, especially the windows too. Like people will take pictures from the outside and get figures in the windows. There's known as like a woman in white that some people have got. So
okay, Brooke. So I'm not going to put you on the spot here or anything.
Oh boy.
You kind of have to protect your integrity as a location owner, but you're the first location owner that we've had on since this question has kind of popped into my head.
Okay.
So there is a company now going around and buying up quite a few of notable locations.
Okay.
Now, how do you feel about a quote unquote corporation, I guess you could say, or a conglomerate, I guess you could say, buying up historically proven locations that have paranormal activity and the costs they are charging?
Let's just say this at one point. We're not talking about someone like Adam Kimball.
No.
It is a corporation that is doing this.
You know what? I'll say it right now. I don't care if we get canceled. It's Ghost Hunt USA.
Okay.
I've
actually seen that. Yeah. So I would say my opinion on it is if it works out, cool, that's great. But I feel like a big part of the locations is the people that own them. I mean, when you go to a location and you get to talk to the owner and they're there all the time and you hear their experience and their love for it, it adds its own little part. And I think it's, like a really personal part. And I was going to mention, like, I love what Adam and them do because they help the owners, but the owners still have a huge part in it and everything.
Yeah.
And they are just there to make sure that the locations are getting worked on and, some of the proceeds are going back to the locations.
So I moved from Ohio shortly after this had happened. I hadn't been to Madison in a while.
Yeah.
Does Adam actually own Madison, or is he just like a proprietor of the property?
I think
He
owns.
owns, yeah, he
Okay.
owns Madison and Fairfield, and then they just help the other locations.
They help with ISS and the other locations and things like that. Okay, because I was going to say, because I originally started doing Madison when it was owned by the family that Adam bought it from.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's how I started there, and
that's really cool.
The family that owned it prior to him, like, we were really good with each other. We were really cool, and he just, but yeah, if you want to come on up. The keys are here. Go in, do whatever you want to do.
That's cool.
You know. But no, what Adam's done to Madison, because when I left, the last time I had been at Madison, it was in some pretty rough shape.
Yeah.
There was a lot that needed to be done. So I'm glad to see, like, through Facebook and everything, what Adam has done.
Yeah, no, they do great things. But I feel like, I mean, if, and like the whole price thing too, I mean, prices, you know, every location, that's up to them and everything. I mean, personally, I can vouch for us. Like, I like to keep our prices cheap. I like to be a low cost location, because when we bought the location, that was a huge goal of ours, is to have a location for people that are just starting out or inexperienced, and somewhere safe that people can go to instead of breaking into locations and, you know, abandoning places. You can pay, it's going to a good cause to restore the building, but you can pay and come and be safe and investigate. And, you know, like, we're going to own it forever. So then people doing research too, so they can research it over the years, the different things that they get. So we've only raised our price once in the past 7 years, and that's because we just we work so closely with Dan and everything, and he was raising his prices, and we raised it $50. So
okay, so what can so for your investigations for an overnight or something like that, what can people expect to pay?
So it's $350 for 6 people.
Okay.
And then so you just put down a $50 deposit though, and then the rest is due at the door. So you have, you know, if you book it out a few months, you got a few months to save up money. And a lot of people, a lot of groups will just split the cost up too. That's what
sure.
Yeah. Well, I know, like, when we did Fairfield, it was like maybe $400 max for an overnight. Or it was like up until like 4 or 5 a.m. I know Indiana State is a little more, but it's a lot bigger. It's like 1,000, but you get to spend the whole entire night there for like 12
Well, see, that's why, like, these places that I've gone and done for, like I would say, pay to play, I guess you could say they are.
Like Ohio State Reformatory,
like, I don't have an issue paying $100 to go in and investigate Ohio State Reformatory.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem paying $100 to go in and investigate, you know, Waverly Hills. Or Trans-Allegheny. What I do have a problem with is paying $75 to $100 to go investigate the Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah.
Which I can jump from one side of the house to the other. Yeah.
No, I could agree with that. Yeah, it's definitely hard. It's definitely an expensive hobby. It really is. It's really, it definitely is.
That's why I've always called it a hobby, not a profession, because I'm not getting paid to do this, and all the money's coming out of my pocket. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's most of us.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and you brought up something earlier in your earlier explanation that you were saying something about how you wanted to provide a safe place for people that, you know, they don't have to break into buildings or, you know, abandoned places and things like that. How do you feel about the whole surgence in the whole urbexing and everything like that?
So,
you want to.
So I really think it's cool, and I love stuff like that, but I always think you should get permission from the owner at least. I mean, we have a location out by us that's pretty much like that, but someone does own it, and they will let you go in there as long as you get permission and everything, because that is still someone's place. And I mean, you should try to get permission if you can. And I think it's really cool. I mean, discovering these places that others have just forgotten about and highlighting them. And I think it's, you know, a really awesome thing to do. I love watching the channels, and I like exploring with Josh. I used to watch before even ghost hunting. I used to watch all his urban exploring videos and yeah.
No,
So-
I have the same stance as you do. Is I'm part of multiple urbex groups on Facebook and everything, and a lot of these places, like I see them like, oh, we had to cut this fence and climb under this and climb through this window. I'm just like, you know, you're admitting to multiple crimes right now. Like,
Yeah, don't do that.
like I'm all about forgotten America. I'm all about finding these places that have been long and forgotten, but
yeah.
like also in the same aspect, like have some respect.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, no, I agree with it.
That'd be like somebody coming and breaking into your place.
Exactly, yeah. Which we have had. We have cameras and everything because I've had a couple instances where I was even out of state and like these two drunk guys came, and we have a outside access to the basement, and they were talking like, oh, let's get into the basement, and they were talking about going in and ghost hunting and all this stuff. And we're really fortunate to have a great police department where Wildwood is, though, so they came super fast.
Good.
Yeah.
So now, because you're so close with Dan and the Hinsdale house, have you noticed like the spirits from Hinsdale come and visit you at Wildwood or vice versa?
So people, actually, it's really funny. So there's actually 3 locations, and all of us owners are very, very close. We've all known each other for years and years and years. And when you actually look at it on a map, we're like a triangle, and we're all like, so Hinsdale's a half hour from us. And then Sweet Home Estate is the other location, and it's a newer one. It only opened about a year ago. And then like he's an hour from us, and it forms a perfect triangle on a map. So I've noticed a few things that some of the spirits do definitely travel, especially if the group like goes from Hinsdale the night before. They'll still get some of that stuff at Wildwood the next night, and they've kind of noticed that too.
Interesting. So I'll have something to look out for when we come.
Yeah,
be like, we're going to Wildwood today. You coming with?
Yeah. We have lots of, like, we call them traveling spirits because there also is a cemetery like only a house away from the from Wildwood. There's only like a house in between. So we do get traveling spirits that new names will pop up, and we're like, oh, who are you? And
yeah,
so it's always cool. It's always an adventure.
Yeah, because I know you guys were you're like half an hour from Hinsdale, so I was like, that's one thing I like because you can sleep at Hinsdale, you can sleep at your place, and like we don't have to get hotels for those nights.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm super excited to come out next July and finally check off these 2 places. Like Hinsdale has a special part in my heart because of a situation. What was it? Was like 10 years ago?
11.
Oh, yeah, 11 years ago. Someone came with us out to Wisconsin, and he was, managing the Hinsdale house at that time, I think, or something. And
we do not speak of that anymore.
Okay, we're not saying his name. We're not going to talk about his name. He was managing the Hinsdale house at the time. Something attached to him.
Yeah.
And when he came out to Wisconsin and met me, I guess the spirit liked me more than him, which now I understand why. And attached to me. And I've never been to the Hinsdale house. So when a friend of ours was like, you have something attached to you from the Hinsdale house, I'm like, I haven't even been to the Hinsdale house. I don't even know what the hell that place is.
Crazy. That's crazy.
And they're like, yeah, you need to get rid of it because that's why you're not eating, why you're not gaining weight, why you're not doing well in school. Is it all tied back to the spirit from the Hinsdale house attached to me?
Wow.
And I'm sorry if this stings deep, Brooke, but I have a very happy person in my house right now that that New England beat Buffalo today.
Oh yeah.
That was just kind of like I know he's watching, and I take pride knowing he's not happy that they lost.
We're not like super into football or anything, so that's cool. I didn't even know.
So yeah, Hinsdale has been like a place that I wanted to go check out, but like you hear all like the stories from like the Warrens and like the myths and legends stuff. So you're like, do I go? Do I not go? I've already had a peer attachment from there, and then since Dan's been owning it, it's all the good positive stuff has been coming out. So I'm like, okay, we're just gonna go. We're gonna go and do it because
you'll have a blast. Yeah, it's a really cool location. Definitely make sure you get time for being outside too. You get the coolest stuff outside. I mean, especially up by the Giving Tree, you'll hear all kinds of stuff up there. And he's done such amazing things with that place. I mean, since we've even started going there, and now, I mean, there's stairs and everything right up to the Giving Tree, which is really nice. And he's done a lot of cool things with the property. There's a nice fire pit, so you can hang out.
I'm super excited because I've known Dan for many years, and he always is like, since he's owned, he's like, come out to the Hinsdale house, like seriously, come out. I'm like,
yeah.
I've told him like I have that attachment path with that place, like it's like, do I go, do I not go type of thing, and we're finally going. And when I booked it, I'm like, Dan, I'm coming out and you're gonna be the tour guide.
No, that's awesome.
I'll make you a deal. You go back to Hinsdale, I'll go back to Bobby Mackey's.
I'm going to the Hinsdale house July. What day am I going to Wildwood? Like the 23rd?
The 23rd, yeah.
So I'm gonna go the 21st to Hinsdale.
Ooh.
No, 23rd is Wildwood. I'm going the 22nd to Hinsdale.
All right, so I'll start looking into going back down to Bobby Mackey's.
If you go, I'll go to Bobby Mackey's. I hate Bobby Mackey's. Like, I don't.
You know my reason why I hate Bobby Mackey's.
I just want to go there just to say I've been there. I feel like that's a rite of passage. Like you just have to be able to say you've been there,
right? Like my senior year, I went with a friend and a bunch of other friends. We did Bobby Mackey's one day and Waverly Hills the next night. That was the week before my graduation, high school graduation.
Oh, wow.
I spent the first week of high school to go to Kentucky, and I'm like, okay, did the whole thing with Rhonda Kay at the time, did the investigation. I'm like, we did not experience anything. Why is this place so like demonic talked about? Like, the only thing I got from Bobby Mackey's was a horrible headache down in the basement.
Oh, really? But I've always wanted to go just because I feel like it's one of those like locations that
list things.
Been there, type of thing. We have to make it out to Waverly too. We tried twice this past summer, and each time something really bad happened. So we just, I told him I'm gonna sit on it for like 6 months, and then we'll try again.
And I'm super happy that Tina and Charlie own it back again. So
definitely.
That's super nice.
Yeah.
So that's the place I want to go back because I went in 2012 for my first time. It was active. We saw the doctor, we saw the nurses, we saw Shadow, we had play with balls and stuff. And I went back the next year just on a night tour with my fiance at the time and my mom, because they had never been, because my mom didn't come with us in 2012. I went with a bunch of friends. And 2013, I was more open to being psychic, medium, empath. Went on the tour. You know, with tours, you have to go where the tour guide goes. You don't have a free roam type of thing.
Yeah.
4th floor, I was being told not to go. Like, my intuition was saying, don't go. You're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. Something is going to happen to you. You're not going to be okay. But you, like I said, you have to do what the tour guide says, right? Went to the 4th floor. We saw the nurse on the right. We saw the doctor. Got down to the OR. As soon as I stepped over the threshold, I felt like my lungs were being ripped open, or my chest was being ripped open, and piping going into my lungs.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, that was like the most like psychic attack ever.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm like,
insane.
I want to go back to Waverly, but I don't want to go back at the same time.
All right,
Yeah.
I have to interject for a second. Jenny, Brooke, it's been a pleasure again tonight. I have to jump off here, take a phone call from work because we closed at 9 p.m. It is now 10, and they're still not out of the building.
Oh wow.
And I got to deal with this. So, Brooke, it was
Right.
great talking to you. Everybody, we'll see you next week. Jenny, I'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Definitely.
great talking with you.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, so it's after 10 now. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That went by fast. But
Yeah.
yeah, really fun. I love it. I love supporting Tina and Charlie throughout this whole like legal thing they had. I was one of the biggest supporters because I'm like, Waverly is one of the most haunted locations in the world. Like everyone knows it. You say Waverly,
Yeah.
everyone's like, that Waverly, yeah. So
Oh yeah.
I'll probably go back. I'll go back probably in 2024, but
Mhm.
I'll be more like prepared and more protected this time.
Yeah, so we were actually like super supportive of all that too. I donated a ghost hunt. I think maybe one or two of them. And that was the thing is, so when they were going to make the announcement that they got it back and all that, we were going to drive out and go there for the first time. And we got to Ohio and my mom's car exploded at the gas station with
What?
all of our equipment in it. For, all the equipment we've ever had was in the car. So now we've been working on building up our equipment and everything. But
Oh
yeah, it was
wow.
pretty insane. Anytime we've tried to go, something happens where it just doesn't work out. So something major too.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like
Yeah.
Jen said, ship your equipment next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the question that we always ask, or we have two questions, but we're just gonna do one today because Russ usually does the other one.
Okay.
5 locations that you want to check out. That if no money is an issue, travel is no issue, what 5 locations around the world would you go to?
Ooh, that's such a good question. So not in any kind of order.
No.
But I mean definitely Waverly Hills, Indiana State Sanatorium. I haven't made it there yet. Because again, that's another place. Anytime I try to go, something happens.
It's amazing during the day. Amazing during the day. I haven't been there at night yet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I want to make it out. I would say like maybe like Dracula's castle or something like that. Somewhere, like a castle. Definitely a huge castle would be really cool. I would say Trans-Allegheny too. And I guess like either Bobby Mackey's or I've always wanted to go to the Lizzie Borden house too. Because I've always been so interested about all that and what happened. And I mean, like in high school, I used to read about it all the time. And just another place to just see it. Like, I don't even care if I ghost hunt, just to see it and be there would be really cool.
Yeah. That's what, if I'm like doing traveling, if we just go in for like a tour or something, I'm happy. Like,
yeah.
Walking into the building and just listening to the walls. Like, we went to Tennessee 2 years ago. And we went to Bushy Mountain State Pen. And they have signs up on every single wall, I swear to God. If you bring the paranormal equipment in, you're getting kicked out. But just walking around that place during the day is crazy active. And then the best part about that place, because I like locations that have like previous like employees, patients, wardens, whatever, if it's a jail, be their tour guides, because you get their perspective on the place, and then you get their history and what they experienced there. You don't get something written off like, here, read your book about the history and just repeat it.
No, that's really cool at some locations.
Bushy Mountain, most of their tour guides are ex-cons or like the wardens, police officers, whatever, that work there. They don't have just like normal tour guides reading from a book. type of thing.
Yeah, no, that's definitely one that I've seen that I've definitely wanted to go to too. I've seen like Bump in the Night Society went there, and that place looks awesome.
Oh yeah, I think we walked around there for like 3.5 hours. I'm like, I want to go back on investigation, but the investigations are like $1,500 a night.
Oh, I bet the place is huge too. So I guess it makes sense.
St. Augustine, someone said. That place is creepy, haunted. I did an investigation there last Halloween. On Halloween, actually.
Oh, and that's cool.
Creepy. That was creepy, active, that place. You have to have the lung capacity to walk up those steps to the lighthouse, that's for sure.
We have a lot of stairs to do at Wildwood. Man, going up and down, doing all the tours and everything is insane.
So, the last question that Russ usually does is, if you had to build a team of 5, you can't include people that you investigate with now. 5 people, fictional or dead, fictional, non-fictional, living or dead. Couple, so like Ed and Lorraine would count as 1. Scooby-Doo team would count as 1. 5 people that you would want to investigate with.
Oh, that's such a hard one. I would say so. Sylvia Brown. I loved that woman growing up. My daughter is actually named after her. I loved that woman. So Sylvia Brown would be one of them. And I think the Long Island Medium would be cool too. I've been watching her show recently, and like she's really cool too. I'm trying to think. I'm like so bad with names and stuff too. Like the Destination Fear crew would be really cool.
You should get them out there. You should. They were just at what I was told. I shouldn't even probably say this. They were just at the Hinsdale house for an episode.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything, so. But yeah, they would be really cool. So I guess that's kind of like 3-ish. Sam and Colby.
That's 1. That sounds like 1.
Okay, so. I was saying we're at like 3.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then Sam and Colby would be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anything investigating with them would be so cool. I'd love for them to come to Wildwood too. I don't know for the last one.
Someone from history, maybe.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't really know, but definitely someone like historic. It would be really cool if you like did it at Wildwood. You know what? I'm gonna say this: Dr. Henderson from Wildwood would be really cool.
Ooh, that would be fun.
And he's like super into ghost hunting and all that. Like he has helped people take pictures of other apparitions, other spirits. One of our team members, he runs a lot of our public ghost hunts and everything for us. He talks to him regularly when he visits, and he's actually at Wildwood right now for 5 days. And he's done presentations to Dr. Henderson, explaining to him like what we do, what we're trying to achieve, and all of his missions. And when he's going to do different experiments, he'll tell them about them. And it's always like on the spirit box, so get really good responses. So I think that would be really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be really cool. So what is coming up for Wildwood Sanitarium? Any events coming up in 2024? Public, because I know you guys host a fall event every year.
Yes. Oh, did you cut out, or did I cut out? Okay.
You cut out.
Okay. So there is Hope Paracon will be coming back next year. I'm not positive about dates yet. It'll probably be like the last Saturday in September again. And then all of the money from that goes to suicide prevention. Last year we donated $2,000. This past year, it was right around $2,000. So we're up, about almost $4,000 donated so far. And it was really cool. Dan from the Hinsdale House made a team, and they walked the suicide prevention walk in Buffalo the morning before, and then they all came to the event, which was really, awesome.
That's awesome.
They even brought the puppies, which was so cute. So we'll be doing that again next year. So we'll be looking out for vendors pretty soon. And then we have a public investigation on Halloween, which is only $4 a ticket. And before that, we'll be giving out candy and treats to everyone. And then November 10th and 11th, so 11/11, Monique Too Soon will be at Wildwood running a public ghost hunt.
Oh, awesome. And then watch out for 2024 public events and stuff, because they will be announcing it soon, over the next few weeks, probably.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, we upload all of our events on our Facebook page, and then usually there's a ticket link right in the description that you can buy them from.
Awesome. Well, again, I'm super excited to come out in July. Less than a year away. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be a fun night. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm probably crafted from Hinsdale, but we'll have fun.
That's all right. We'll get you a ghost energy drink or something, and you'll be good.
Yeah, and I'll have Shane and Josh keeping me awake with their crazy antics, so we'll be good.
Yeah, no, it'll work out. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for coming on the show, and we'll definitely get you back on after I come out and check it out with paranormal evidence and everything.
Yeah, no, that'll be really fun to do, like a little wrap-up thing. That'll be cool.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have Shane and Josh join us next time.
Oh. Did I cut out again?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. It'll be really cool to do like a little wrap-up thing, and that'd be really awesome to show what you guys get and talk about it.
Yeah, we'll definitely have Josh and Shane join us when we do that.
Yeah.
We're always getting off topic. They go off the topic because we get so distracted by other things, but we'll have fun.
Yeah, that's all right.
So again, thank you for coming on, and we will see you very shortly in July.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.
Bye.
So thank you all for listening and joining us tonight. Next week, we have Natalie and Jessica here from Minnesota. They're paranormal investigators, paranormal authors, psychic mediums. So I'm super excited to have them on. I'm dying from coughing from COVID. I'm sorry for all the coffee tonight. My lungs are not fully recovered from this yet. But come back next week. Hopefully this week we'll have some announcements to be made on their Facebook page. So if you're not on our Facebook page, go check it out on Turn Pages, because these announcements will be amazing. I can't wait. I wish I could spill the beans, but I can't. But trust me, once they're spilled, you'll be happy. Jen, I can't wait to meet you next July as well at Wildwood. Everyone have a great night, and we'll see you back next Sunday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Have a great night, everyone. Just gotta get the video.